Hi there. I wanted to offer a little outline to this herbal energy pocket guide because I've been putting this together for a while. And what I really want folks to get out of it right now in the winter is the antiviral, antioxidant effects. These are really potent awarenesses, and if you apply the awarenesses to these herbs, you can really boost your energy, and you can also boost your immunity during this bizarre season of a continued pandemic. And I just listened to the news. There are measles cases, variants. There are a number of scarlet fever. I mean, these are things that we haven't seen for a while. So it's really important to bring up your own health, and holistic wisdom can be exactly a great help. So let me share this with you. This is the 10 herbal attributes for everyday living. And I'm just excited to share this because you can download this on your phone. And then when you're in an herbal store, health food store, grocery store, you can look and say, oh yeah, this is the stuff I need to have in my pantry. So give it a try. Let's see here. They're organized, so the herbs are organized by their attributes. You'll see some of the same herb aligned with different attributes. So the reason I did it this way is because you can go to why the herbs matter and then apply the herbs to your matter that you're trying to sort out. And I would recommend that you try learning about one or two of these at a time. Just begin to start to shape your own little apothecary that you can draw upon at any time to help, round out your own immunity or the immunity of those in your lives, like your children, your partner, your neighbors, the elders in your life. And you can explore fresh herbs, dried herbs, or however the herb is growing around you. If you're able to get fresh herbs, it's always the best. Sometimes herbs have to be processed in order for the body to absorb them well. So you'll find some Ayurvedic herbs which are more potent, and this goes for traditional Chinese herbs too. They're more potent when they're dried. You get the better quality. So that's just something to keep in mind. And the first herbal list I want to share with you are adaptogens. So adaptogens are, and I may have, this is where I just kind of put this list together. I did some research in my notes from learning all of this stuff, and I've never had this kind of pocket guide, so I started doing it for myself, and then I thought, ooh, maybe I'll make this into a wonderful freebie for my community. So adaptogens are herbs. They are herbal actions that we can take that kind of do what our body needs it to do. It has a way of organizing the information inside of the herbs to synergistically give us what we need. And that is amazing. So there are some precautions around using these because you want to make sure that you're giving yourself the right amount of dose so you can have the best effects. Or you want to make sure they're in the right form that you want to take them. So ginseng is an example of a plant, an herb that grows in the wild, where I grew up in Appalachia, the American ginseng version. And the Asian ginseng version is kind of what I can get here in the stores in a dried form. I do have my own Asian ginseng plant that sometimes I do take a little bit of the root. It's a rhizome, so it kind of grows like a lily or something like that, where they duplicate. kind of grow out. It's interesting. So I take off a little snippet of that. It looks like ginger if you buy fresh ginger. And then you can slice it and peel it and make a tea with it, and it's incredibly potent. But the dry version is also has its own wonderful attributes. And then you can find the dry version kind of produced into other kinds of tonics and things. And then the other things you can find in different ways. Powdered, you might find them dried, you might find them in a tincture like I just described. You may even find them fresh, like lion's mane mushrooms are adaptogens, and I can find those in the stores near me. Reishi mushroom, I've never found that fresh, and I would love to find a source. And cordyceps mushroom are also things that are generally offered to you in a dried form. Whoops, I think I went too far. Anti-inflammatory section is long and wide. There's so many things that are anti-inflammatory. So there really is best practices here. Just get to know this list. Include a lot of these things you may already have in your pantry. Now, in this case of anti-inflammatory, I just want to share that if at all possible, the freshest is the best in this regard. Some of these things you can't get fresh, like ashwagandha. That's the root of a plant that I know has been domesticated here in North America by some farms, but it typically is grown in the Indian subcontinent. Now, things like calendula are fresh at only one little moment in time. So we have those kinds of things to consider too. Holy basil is a plant that if you have one fresh, oh my goodness, the tea is so good from the fresh leaves. Using the fresh leaves in culinary delights can be very wonderful for your system. Rhodiola is a great anti-inflammatory. It's also an adaptogen. So that's going to be something that can even your mood while it lowers inflammation in your skin so you can beautify from the inside out. There's so many things here. I'm just giving you a little quick cliff notes here. The antioxidants list is as complete as I could make it. I kept it primarily to herbs, but you will also see things like coffee, espresso. I just put espresso because that's the form of coffee bean that has so many antioxidants. It's a really powerful way to start your morning with antioxidants and to like lift your mood up. People dismiss coffee a lot, saying it's hard for the digestion. And sometimes it is. It can be an irritant. It's a tikta food, which means that it is, it's sort of not good for us. It's complicated, right? Like everything else. But a really nice espresso bean that has been treated well with the grind, and there's that crema that comes from it. That is a great and just a wonderful, robust source of antioxidants. And maybe in volume 2, I'll put the number of antioxidant level that we have here. Antiviral, these are things that are going to help you fight off the common cold, COVID, and any other virus. So if you have fever, blisters, herpes, any simplex, adding these to your diet is going to stave off that virus that can creep up on you when your immunity is low. All of these things are amazing. Elderflower, elderberry, I want to give it up for that. Elderberry also is a potent, one of the highest sources of vitamin C, which is really, really wonderful. Clearing herbs are amazing. These are things that are going to help clear mucus from our bodies. So when we think of having a cold, like being all stuffed up, all of these things can help to clear the body of mucus and what is not serving us. So burdock root is a wonderful clearing agent for the digestion. Like this is going to really foster elimination. And if you are pregnant or other situation, definitely if you are pregnant or postpartum, you want to be careful with taking these kinds of herbs in a medicinal way. So if you're adding thyme to your chicken or to a beautiful vegetable bake, a little teaspoon is going to be fine. But if you're making a potent clearing tea that's really rich and full of thyme, it could be a purgative in your body and it might cause problems with your pregnancy. So be careful with everything on this list. There are cooling herbs, and you'll see that there are things here that are seeds, like poppy seeds. Aloe is obviously very cooling. We can ingest the small living aloe, like aloe inside the leaves of the small aloe plant that has little white spots or little white stripes on it. That's the aloe that you want to eat. In the Bay Area, we have these large, huge aloe plants that grow gigantic. That's not the kind that you want to eat. That's very bitter and it could cause some digestive relief that may be, or cooling, it may not be desirable. And then the nervines. Nervine herbs are herbs that help to calm the nervous system. They help to stimulate the nervous system. And I like to compare it to like a slow dance. It helps to stimulate the nervous system slowly in a way that the nerves are able to work together to kind of just be less erratic. Sometimes when folks have autoimmune diseases, the nervous system is not working so well. The synapses are irregular, or the myelin sheath is not functioning in a flow. It may be like separating. In the case of MS, the myelin sheath begins to separate and defragment off of the nerve. Creates a lot of problems for folks in their mobility, particularly. So these kind of herbs, this is by the way, just this is not a way to solve all of the problems of autoimmune disorders, but these herbs can offer subtle body support that can be very profound. So that's why I'm sharing this with you. So check out and read about all of these herbs. So lovely. The herbs of estrogen and herbs that balance hormones in general, I've included under this umbrella. Most of my clients, most of my followers are women, but this is for everyone. And it's just something to think about. This is for anyone who may be a transgender and thinking about, I want to increase my estrogen or I want to decrease it. These are things to think about. And if you need more guidance around any of these herbs, around any of the situations I'm describing, you can reach out to me at angela@beautifyfaceyoga.com to schedule a meetup with me. That'd be great. So all of these, Gotu Kola is a really good one that, oh, it's hailing here. You might hear it. Gotu Kola, I want to highlight. This is one that helps to balance our hormones. It also helps to just cool down the nature of the brain. It helps to bring the left and right hemispheres of the brain working synchronously. So this is Gotu Kola is a wonderful estrogen balancing herb. And, I just want to share that I'm just so grateful. I suggest sourcing out herbs locally, and combining herbs in a way that the traits of the herbs are complementary to your outcomes that you're seeking. And I just want to thank you for downloading this. Reach out to me at angela@beautifyfaceyoga.com. You can book me on my Calendly. It's in the guide. And take this guide with you everywhere on your phone. You can buy herbs in a lot of health food stores, grocery stores. And I'd love to hear what I missed. Let me know. It would be so fun to meet up with you and just hear your response to my work in this regard. So that's it. Thank you so much for being here and take care. Bye bye bye. Bye bye bye.